Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania Hundoke with Reverend Yutaka Yamada. Today being Saturday, the 13th of November, or the 9th of October in the 9th year of Chongalguk. Let's begin, as always, with a bow to our Heavenly Parents and True Parents. Chariot, Kyombe, Padu. And let's recite our family pledge, both in Korean and English. Thank you.
가전만세 3. 천일국 주인 우리 가족은 참사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과 환조권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 3. Our family, the owner of Chongalguk, pledges to perfect the 4 great realms of heart, the 3 great kingships, and the realm of the royal family by centering on true love. Thank you. I'd like to ask Rex in the Solomon Islands if you could offer the opening prayer, please.
Let's pray. Our most beloved Heavenly Parents, our dearest friend to heaven, earth, mankind, Father, we thank you so much for guidance, protection for this week. Today is the last day for this week, Father. We went, Father, through many challenges, Father, but because of your heart, your love, Father, can survive, Father. Father, thank you very much for this new day. Last night, Father, we know that many of our brothers and sisters around the world, some they returned back to your original homeland. Even, Father, sent to blessed families, Father. And Father, we are so privileged that we can meet this new day. Another challenging day. We'll go through all the realities, Father. We believe we have trust and confidence with you, with our beloved true parent, and our ancestors from spiritual world, that Father will enjoy the day, Father. Thank you once again. Now it's time for us, Father, united Father in our Oceania, Father, for our Hundokwe, centered Father on our leader, Father, Father. Whatever Father going to share, reminding us, Father, please, to be and remain absolutely united, Father, behind our true mother, so that we can together go, Father, until, Father, the end, 2027, to bring victory to you, Father. Father, we also, Father, like, Father, to pray for the Pacific reunification of North and South Korea, Father, which was, Father, the ultimate goal of our true Father, and now, Father, our true mothers, working, Father, definitively by next year to make this happen. We want, Father, that day we all, even though we not be in Korea, Father, to see how our brothers and sisters in Korea will be rejoicing, singing, chanting, dancing, crying, Father, to make, Father, the end, bring the end, Father, this very sorrowful and sad history, Father. We believe also, Father, this will influence the peace around the world, Father, especially in the Middle East, Father. Thank you, Father, for your love. Please offer this time to you from beginning to the end of Hundokwe, Father. Come inspire us and give us wisdom and knowledge. All this I report, Father, in our names. So, Father, bless us and the family. Joe.
Thank you. So let's give a warm welcome to Reverend Yutaka as he shares this morning. Thank you.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. Thank you for coming this morning from Fundoke. Today is the Saturday, end of the week, and the preparation for the new weeks. So how was every day? Are you exciting and inspiring every day? We will reflect each moment on morning time and evening time, and let's really offer ourselves to our heavenly parents and true parents. And every end of the day, we should also proud ourselves, our heavenly parents. We spend this day for you, or we spend this day with your true love to share our heart to our brothers and sisters. So always we will reflect ourselves to connect our heavenly parents and true parents. So now True Mother is organizing the several providential event. So next 5th of December, IHQ side informed 8 Rally of Hope before, but now instead of 8 of Rally of Hope, True Mother is organizing about the Pray for Hope, some centering on the religious leader, not political leaders. So all religious leader gather and pray for reunification between North and South Korea. So December 5th, continuously, those some kind of the providential event is going on. So how we can also support and participate. These things really important for ourselves. And also yesterday was the unseal. So thank you, our Reverend John, to share your beautiful message about the True Mother. So Jesus' family and the True Father's family were prepared by God well. And also in the same time, our True Mother's family also prepared by God well. So Reverend John also shared the mother's message for 5 different perspectives, and also True Mother's life. Even there are many kind of difficult or challenging environment, but True Mother overcame everything and also stood as the True Mother and Mother of Peace. So 5 points. The first is that True Mother is the third Eve, the object partner of the third Adam, right? And also second one is the True Mother is the Holy Spirit. And third one is the True Mother is the only begotten daughter, the object partner of the only begotten Son. And fourth one is True Mother, that True Mother is a true parent. And fifth one is that True Mother comes from a different root. So those points, really, Mother is emphasizing and really sharing well, sharing detail all the time. So we have to understand well, and also we have to study well. So this point is really important. And also yesterday, some Mrs. now also have questioned the mother's first mother or second mother, first mother. But anyway, Reverend John gave the answer well, right? That question was answered well. Yeah, so that is important. We have to study Father's word, and really Father give the many evidence why True Mother is mother, why True Mother is a begotten daughter, why True Mother is standing as the no stain of sins position. Father also mentioned many times, and we could see that's why when Mother mentioned this one, Mother's sharing and Father's sharing is not different. Totally, Mother also talking same things. Father also mentioned many times about True Mother. So we have to understand this point clearly. So anyway, this is because not many official announcement. That's why I just share. But you can also study more Father's word. You can find many Father's message which he testified to Mother as only begotten daughter, and also without sin or root of sin. So we could find those things. Okay. So anyway, thank you, Reverend John, yesterday message, and thank you, Mrs. Na, for your question. So anyway, we can have to study more, learn more, and find more. These things is important. If we are facing difficulty, going back to Father's word and Mother's word and prayer, and really get the clear answer. This should be our attitude, not only just our own concept or our own thinking. Also, Father mentioned many times, even today Father gave this message, but next day Father will give the contents with the 180% different contents. So how about our attitude? If father mentioned totally different things compared with yesterday, we have to follow the latest father's message or latest mother's message. That's why even long time ago father say, long time ago mother said, but important things is what is the really latest our true mother's message. These things is important. Otherwise, even we could not understand the background of father and mother's message, but using one or two sentences to accuse mother, accuse father, this attitude is really not our right attitude. So we have to study well, and we have to really connect our father's or mother's message well. So anyway, thank you very much for listening. So we'll go to mother's autobiography also. Today, mother's peace. So last time we share about the story of Cambodia and also announcement of Asian Pacific Summit. So when we see the Cambodia government welcome to mother and organize summit in Peace Palace in Cambodia and also offer the blessing and youth movement. And when we see that video, that was so much exciting, right? Many culture and also many nations joined together, and Trimada was really happy that time. So when we see those conference or event, in the same time, we have to think the behind of a story or providential or principle way. Even we could see that kind of a successful event, but behind of that, how much our missionary, our brothers and sisters, and also our heavenly parents and true parents invested and also sacrificed a lot. And before organizing that summit, Cambodia missionary and brothers and sisters really invested and to offer the 200,000 blessing ceremony before that summit. That's why how we can fulfill our portion of responsibility before heaven. Then heaven can work together. So heaven's responsibility of 95% and those our portion of responsibility is 5%. These both things have to go together, then we can fulfill that. So even Cambodia summit, even Sao Tome Principe summit, looks like they are doing only just top level, but also behind of that, many members, missionaries, or leaders, chansong and sacrifice and the responsibility are there. That's why those event, providential one, was succeeded. So after Cambodia summit, Tirumada also went to another country to organize summit. So this everything is going to connect to the World Summit in 2020. So we could see that things. So after Cambodia, Tirumada went to Taiwan. So today I want to share about the story of Taiwan. So Mada is mentioning this story of Taiwan. Okay. New hope for China. Since ancient times, in many cultures and traditions, the ocean has been seen as a mother. The Chinese characters for the Pacific Oceans translate as Great Ocean of Peace. And in English, Pacific means peaceful in character or intent. The Pacific civilization can become a great mother of peace by opening the era of civilization characterized by filial piety for heaven, hyojong, and true love, living for the sake of others. It can do so by embracing and putting into practice the sacrificial and altruistic heart of the mother, and discarding our inherited fallen practices of seduction, conquest, and exploitation. So Tirumada is mentioning about the civilization of Pacific Ocean. So you could see this Chinese character. Can you read this? Taepyeongyang. So this Taepyeongyang, Taiheiyo, Taepyeongyang is kind of the Pacific Ocean. So Mada is mentioning about this meaning of Chinese character. So Great Ocean of peace. So in English is Pacific. So Pacific civilization has those meaning to become the filial piety to heaven and also live for the sake of others by true love, then become the great mother. So mother is really emphasizing about the Pacific civilization. So Pacific civilization, which region should become the main owner of this civilization? Surely our Pacific and our Oceania, our brothers and sisters, role is really important. How we can fulfill the vision of Pacific civilization. The Pacific civilization arises in the latter stages of the providence centering on the true mother of humankind, the only begotten daughter. At this time, through the only begotten daughter, the feminine aspect of God, the Heavenly Mother, hidden throughout history, must be revealed. God can no longer be seen solely as the Heavenly Father. God is the Heavenly Parent, the harmonious, perfected union of Heavenly Father and Heavenly Mother. The Pacific civilization is defined by the ideal of one family of humanity, which manifests naturally when we attend Heavenly Parent as our vertical parent of humanity. So because of the born of True Mother and also initiation of True Mother, the Pacific civilization was focused or highlighted more and more. And because of the only begotten daughter or standing of True Mother, we could find the new aspect of our God, new aspect of Heavenly Father. Actually, there is another aspect as Heavenly Mother. That's why Father side and Mother side. So Mother proclaimed that Heavenly Father is actually also Heavenly Mother and Heavenly Parent. So how much Heavenly Parents is guiding us, how much True Parents is guiding us, the ideal of the family. So in front of heaven, if people could have the vertical relationship, the family concept will be appeared. So now recently we have also many meetings with about the PCLC with President Hori or Dr. Kito. So during meeting time, many also discussion was happened. So one things we know about the communist, right? But actually currently there is also the spiritual communist. So even physically, the externally, many things is changing, but also there is a spiritual communist. So because of fall, what was happened? We could see many things because of fall. So we know about equalism. People like to say that equal, right? Men and women have to be equal, everything be equal and equal. But who bring this concept? Equalization. This is really good things or bad things. So actually, because of fall, what Archangel brought that Adam positions and Archangel position. Do you think this is equal? Parent position and children's position is really equal or not? Actually, there is not equal. There is a vertical relationship. There is order, parents and child, and Adam and Archangel. This is vertical tradition, and subject partner totally support, sacrifice, and love for object partner. Object partner also support and sacrifice for subject partner. This relationship is the relationship of true love. So parents and child relationship is also same. Parents should not just ordering to children and doesn't do anything. Parents also sacrifice and love and totally support to the children. Children also totally sacrifice, support, and live for the parents. This relationship centering on the vertical alignment. This is the structure of the family. So how Satan said what Satan bring? Satan bring to break this vertical tradition and vertical relationship. That's why true parents bring those clear relationship, our heavenly parents ourselves, and especially emphasize the value of family. So we need to educate people continuously. What is the value of true family? And what is the role of the family? Four great realms of heart: children's heart, brother and sister's heart, and husband and wife's heart, and parents' heart. We heard many times, but actually this is the essence of essence. How children could do the filial piety to the parents. But before children will do, actually parents' responsibility is important. How much children, parents sacrifice for the children. And before parents, what relationship is important? Our husband-wife's relationship is really important. Husband sacrifice for wife, wife also sacrifice for husband, and united totally, then stand as the parents, and parents also show that kind of love and life to the children, and children learn from parents to inherit and also grow up continuously. So education for family, value of family, and also purity and the value of marriage. And finally, we have to guide and educate the meaning of one family under God. So those education is really important. So in 2017, I proclaimed this culture of heart based on the true love at 12 rallies of hope held in Korea, Japan, the United States, Thailand, and beyond. Hundreds of thousands of people attended these events. I continued to proclaim the Pacific civilization and the culture of heart throughout 2018, starting with the Africa Summit in Senegal and concluding with the Asia Pacific Summit in Nepal. But in order to firmly establish the age of the Pacific civilization, the participation of the Greater China region with a population of 1.7 billion people is essential. So Mother is really organizing many kind of the peace conference, summit, and the providence centering on the culture of heart. And Mother also mentioned that even Mother organized the many provincial events in the several nations, but without Greater China's involvement, how we could fulfill the peace world and one family under God? China's influence is really important, right? That's why Mother is emphasized about the providence of Greater China. Now China's influence is strongly coming to our nation of Oceania. Can you find the many influence in the island nations? So China's influence is really bigger and bigger. But when we talk about China, who we are talking? Even inside of the Chinese nation or Chinese people, there are able side and also the cane side. There are main kind of people, and some of them may be going to the communist way, but some of them also believe God, believe religion, also living for the sake of others, and they understand the value of family. They also having life for other peoples, and they are also our brothers and sisters. That's why when we talk ourself or with friend, sometimes we talk about China is not good, or communist is not good, but really we have to think and also understand our heavenly parents' point of view, how heavenly parents is thinking them and seeing them and try to guide them. They are also our brother and sisters, and they are also the family. That's why we have to effort also centering on heavenly parents' will and true parents' will. So true Mother, in order to guide the Chinese nation and Chinese people, Mother went to Taiwan and organized this special providential event. Over the decades, the unification movement in China has experienced challenges. Thus, we started preparations for the launch of the Chinese People's Federation for World Peace in 2017 by bringing together overseas Chinese and other ethnic Chinese. The former refers to those of Chinese lineage who have left the mainland and moved abroad while maintaining their cultural roots and connection to the mainland. The later refers to Chinese immigrants who have lost their linguistic and cultural ties to China. When we say Chinese People's Federation, we refer to both groups. So when we talk about Chinese, there is Chinese who are living in mainland China and who are living in outside of China. So their relationship and connection is strong, and they have also culture, and also they are living together with those thought. And also, of course, some of them are not connected with China anymore. So Mother established the Chinese People's Federation. So this federation role is also important. So how we can work together in order to fulfill heavenly unified Korea and heavenly unified world. So both sides, always our true parents is emphasizing, educating the victory of communist. Of course, this content is very essential to share the God, but in the same time, also true parents is emphasizing Cain side together. So when we see the Chinese group, also we could see the Cain side and Abel side. And Mother established Chinese People's Federation. So do you know who is the leader of Chinese People's Federation in Oceania? Our Reverend Lim is the president of the Chinese People's Federation in Australia and initiating of the Oceania. I'm not sure how many nations established the Chinese People's Federation in our region of Oceania. Australia already fulfilled and established Chinese People Federation, right? So this providence also one of the important things, many Chinese people there, how we can guide them, connect them to our heavenly parents. So this November 27 is the, I think, second year of World Assembly of the Chinese People's Federation. So we can also join together of this one. So today, Mother is sharing about the story of China and Pacific civilization. So when Mother is visiting to the nation by nation, then Mother share the new story or new history. Through learning, we can connect to our providence in the Oceania and in our nation and in also our families, how we can become filial son and filial daughters, how really we can become the true husband and true wife, true parents, true family, and we can become the filial son and daughters. So today is a Saturday, a beautiful morning. Heavenly parents will prepare so many things for each of us. So let's prepare our heart, connect and find our heaven's will, and let's offer the victory to happiness to our heavenly parents and true parents. Thank you for joining this 분덕회. 감사합니다.
Kamsamnida. Thank you, Reverend Yutaka, for helping us have a better understanding of the events that lead up to our true mother becoming true mother, and also about this specific region. I was thinking a few things about how the Pacific is, this great ocean of peace, or represents peaceful character or intent. And then that point you made about what we are fighting against, this spiritual communism, this ideal that is permeates, where people wanting to be fair. I was before reflecting on what's the thing that communists push, and you were saying that equalization, but also the justice, being fair, everyone's the same. And we had that slogan before, love is love, and promoting that as for that people of different sexual behaviors were all the same. Love is love, and then taking the color of the rainbow, how they all mix together to be white, so everything's the same. But actually, as we know, as Reverend Taka pointed out, things are not the same. There is a very particular vertical order, and when we think of love, love is love. It sort of like diminishes it, but love is actually unique, absolute, and unchanging, the same as God. And what is equal is that everyone is a child of God and everyone is loved. But to say that that we are identical in every way is not true. We are all unique and eternal and unchanging, and that's what the whole of the family structure and the whole of humanity is. Because every time someone's born, it's something new. Everyone deserves to be loved and respected, but we all, as Reverend Yutaka pointed out, we all need to be in the correct order, the correct structure. You can't put the cart before the horse analogy, because it'll never move. You need to put the horse in front so you can pull the cart. And by saying everything's the same, we don't actually go anywhere. We actually stagnate. There's no development. The order and structure of the family maintains the fact that there is growth and development, and that when we recognize our proper position, then we can really grow. And so I was also thinking about China and how this Chinese People's Federation for World Peace is linking the two types of Chinese that are not in mainland China anymore. The ones that are just overseas, and others that have become because we have both of those in Australia. The Chinese that came almost at the beginning of Australia's conception, with coming for the working in the mines and the railway, and they became part of Australian society. And then you've got the mainland Chinese who are studying here, many of the students, and how to link them together. Because the point that stood out was that the new hope for China is we need China for the firm establishment of the age of the Pacific civilization. In fact, Mother said it was essential for the establishment of the age of the Pacific civilization, because China is a dominating force within the Pacific. And so we need to help China become a Chongluguk nation. And maybe we can see that the communist nations like Cambodia are receiving Mother and 200,000 people blessed and growing every day that the Chinese, they talked about the fastest growing, that we saw the other day, that Afghanistan is the second fastest growing Christian community, but the first fastest growing is actually China. Someone estimated there's something between 300 to 400 million Christians in China. And so that's an enormous amount of people that are waiting to really restore China. And so with PCLC, we can somehow help the Chinese Christians to really stand up. So that would be a dramatic change, to see China become a nation for God, even before many of the European nations do. So anyway, there were some thoughts I was having about that as Reverend Utaka was sharing. So thank you, everyone. Anyone else with any thoughts? Please go ahead. Yes, Doug, go ahead.
Yeah, all this this is a significant change in the world we're all witnessing, and there's three parts of the matter that are of great importance. One is culture, the other is business, and the other is politics. So it's family is culture and relationship with God, but as they grow in numbers, so does our economic relationship with each other. And then we need governance as the third and least important part in that matter. They can help us with traffic lights and small little matters. They are not to oversee us. Today, we're living in a world where government oversees our every action, and it plays a completely opposite role in life. And communism is a perfect example of it. But communism has tried to undermine the values of history and the lessons of history and so forth, and canceled out everything under the sun. They failed at that economically. So they're actually working in a way to work through corporations. That's why our corporations are taking such stands for gay rights, and for this and that, everything under the sun, and interfering with dominating our culture. But the thing that gives me hope is that to get these three circles and spheres of influence in line, which is culture, family culture, ability to have freedom with God, and then good business relationships, good economics. And the third is, a useful government, but not one to overpower people or business. So we're going through this chaotic situation where it looks almost hopeless to people. But actually, the silver lining with this dark cloud is that we've seen the rise of incredible corporate power on the earth. We are living in the World War III, which is the restoration, of all things. So we're actually seeing the rise, almost like a formation or growth level. It's growth level of the corporations. Matter of fact, some people say we've lost our democracy and we are only living with corporatocracies, The citizens have lost their vote, and the corporations control even the politicians, and the politicians have become prostitutes, for the corporate dollar. So there's a real big disconnect between we, the people, and the corporations who are in collusion with government. All of this is coming crashing down before our very eyes. I'm not going to go much longer. It's coming to an end. But all of this is coming crashing down before our very eyes. And what we're seeing is the rise of provision on a worldwide ideal level, where corporations will no longer be working for the profit motive of a few people, but through inheritance and ownership, we will all partake in the development of corporate profits. You'll be born into a world where you will have inheritance of corporate ideas which came as a fruit of history. Corporations will be our provision system. We'll be able to support them. We'll be able to trust them. All that trust and support and common values and good will come when we see the rise of true corporations. And that's not far from happening. Over these 7 years, it's going to begin. So that's all. Thank you. Very excited about that.
Thank you. Yes, Debbie, go ahead.
Just wanted to say that there was I heard True Father said that there will be a time when self-centered business, people that are selfish, the spirit world will not allow them to succeed. And only corporations or companies that are caring about the whole will succeed. True Father said that.
Thank you. Yes. Yes, Tsuniko, go ahead.
Yesterday, I saw the news. China, mainland China had single day celebration before they kind of business, right? To more buying, that day is celebration for the buying and business, like Alibaba or something. But now that Xi Jinping has that meeting for government change it to that day is now not only profit, day for 10% or something business make profit, that's going to donation or something to good. That's why I thought little bit China, mainland China, even communist, they now more live for others, that kind of, government more that towards that way. Otherwise, any other country, no accept anything internationally, so much isolated for China's the way doing that is a little bit hopeful, I think, like government for China. That's I thought. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Tsuniko. You got your hand up, Chris? You want?
Yeah, just quickly, thanks, Doug, for that explanation. That was really clear. And just me always talking about the spiritual aspect. I've mentioned many times that there's quite some strong recent prophecies of True Mother being recognised fairly soon worldwide. And part of those prophecies are also saying that we'll see China working with America for world peace. So even though things look bleak, things can change very quickly. And China is in a massive struggle at the moment, as Doug said. As the Reverend Imada said, there's Cain and Abel on both sides. And the Cain side in China is in all sorts of strife. They're coming under a lot of pressure, mainly because they wouldn't compromise to the Abel type offerings from the Trump administration. A lot of people in China and the government didn't like that. They wanted to move ahead. So just like the Berlin Wall, this could happen soon. So anyway, give us some hope. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Yeah, we got time for one more. Yes, Mary, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Imada, for your explanations this morning. It was very profound, especially talking about the communist spirit world. I'm looking for the day when that changes. Yeah, I could see, like, even in the school system here where we live, it's all about equalization. It's not about family. And, basically the education system has no regard for parents. It's all about what's coming down from the top in the government. And it's quite disturbing and distressing. So I'm really looking for the day when that can change and we can have the structure of family understood, centered on God. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Mary. That's so true. We still actually can squeeze in another person if they want to, one more. Yes, Margaret.
Thank you, Reverend Yamada. That was really enlightening. The Palau has a diplomatic relationship with Taiwan, and what we're seeing is that Taiwan has a stronghold when it comes to relationship with Chinese people in Palau. There are nationals from mainland China who cannot get jobs in Palau because Taiwan has already cornered the market, so to speak. So this idea of federation is a hopeful idea, and if anyone has ideas of how this dynamic can work between Taiwan and mainland China, Chinese. My sister has a daughter-in-law who's Chinese, and she cannot get a job from mainland China because everywhere she tries, it has to be someone from Taiwan. So the can enable dynamic is definitely in play. So we need to find ways to get this Chinese Federation going. My spiritual father is Chinese from Hong Kong, and I've asked him for some ideas, and I was surprised that his attitude toward mainland China was very different. So there are internal currents going between Chinese people, but at the same time, they do have the population, and we need them for God's will. Anyway, open for ideas if anybody has. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Margaret. Thank you, everyone. Now it's time for us to offer our unison prayer together, and let's pray for China to become a Chongluk nation. So I'll just share the screen. Let's pray together. Adieu, adieu, adieu. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Enjoy the day and see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.